You know that feeling when a brand new idea hits you and suddenly your whole body lights up with energy? You feel unstoppable. You open your laptop, you buy the domain name, you download the app, you order all the supplies you think you'll need, you stay up until 4 in the morning researching every little detail, and then nothing. The folder just sits there, untouched. The notebook gets buried under a pile of other notebooks. The project quietly joins what so many of us have, a graveyard of half-finished dreams. If this has happened to you more times than you can count, congratulations. You might be psychologically wired for what some people quietly call project graveyard syndrome. And before you beat yourself up, no, this is not laziness. This is not a character flaw. There is real science behind why starting something feels like falling in love, and why finishing it can feel like walking straight into a trap. Let's start with the most obvious part. Every new project begins with a massive flood of dopamine. Novelty equals reward. Your brain literally gets high on possibility. Research shows that the anticipation of achievement releases more dopamine than the actual achievement itself. That's why the planning phase feels euphoric. You're not just dreaming. Your nervous system is being chemically rewarded for imagining success. You feel alive. You feel capable. You feel like this time, it's going to be different. But here's the cruel twist. Once the novelty fades and real effort begins, that chemical high drops hard. For some brains, the drop is so steep that it registers as a threat. Your body literally enters avoidance mode. You don't lose interest because you're lazy. You lose interest because your nervous system is trying to protect you from pain. Think about it. The moment you have to show something imperfect, even if it's just to yourself, the fear circuitry lights up. What if it's not good enough? What if I finish it and it still sucks? What if I finish it and nobody cares? Perfectionists don't actually fear failure. They fear a mediocre result after investing so much time and emotion. Finishing means exposing the gap between the perfect vision in your head and the real, flawed thing in reality. For many people, abandonment feels safer than completion. It preserves the fantasy version forever. The unfinished project becomes a permanent what if, a comforting story that lets you believe you could have been great if only you had finished. And many people who live in the project graveyard club are also carrying old wounds. Maybe you grew up hearing, "That's not good enough," over and over. Maybe past projects were mocked, dismissed, or used against you. Maybe success was envied or punished. Finishing becomes vulnerability. Abandoning becomes self-protection. Your brain learned early, unfinished things stay perfect forever. When the novelty is gone, the prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for planning and focus, has to take over. But for some people, that handover is disrupted. Executive function fatigue sets in. Rejection-sensitive dysphoria kicks up, very common in ADHD and autism profiles. Chronic shame loops start spinning. The brain begins associating the project with discomfort instead of reward. So it does what it evolved to do: escape the pain. That's why you suddenly lose interest. Your nervous system isn't betraying you, it's protecting you. Here's the part almost nobody talks about. Chronic starters are often highly creative, idea-rich, deeply curious people. You don't lack discipline, you lack emotional safety around completion. The same brain that generates 50 brilliant ideas is also protecting itself from 50 potential rejections. That's not weakness, that's survival intelligence. So, what can you do if you want to change the pattern? You don't have to finish everything. That's not the goal, but you deserve to finish something. On your terms. Start small, lower the stakes, finish something tiny, and keep it completely private at first. No sharing, no judgment. Just the quiet satisfaction of putting a check mark on something small. Reframe finishing as an act of self-kindness, not performance. Celebrate the corpse, mourn the project. Thank it for what it taught you, and bury it ritually if you need to. Let it go with peace. Find safe finishers. People who celebrate effort, not perfection. People who will cheer when you cross the line. Even if the result isn't flawless, you're not broken, you're not lazy, you're someone who learned, maybe too early, that unfinished things stay perfect forever. And maybe, just maybe, you're finally ready to let one of them be imperfectly complete. So, next time you abandon something, don't call yourself lazy. Call yourself someone who's protecting a very tender part of themselves. And if any of this felt like looking in a mirror, drop in the comments. What's the oldest unfinished project still haunting your graveyard? You're not alone in there, and you don't have to stay buried. Thanks for watching. If this resonated, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.